Chris, is obviously a huge opportunity, and everyone's excited about it. But how do you guys kind of try and keep the guys in the moment and know that the job's not done? You have a big, big task ahead of you in Game 6.
Absolutely, it's going to be very difficult. If we continue to play the way we have in the last about 5 periods, it gives us a good opportunity to win. And as well as we played in those 5 periods, it still might not be good enough to win a hockey game. So we can only control what we can control, and hopefully that's enough.
It looked like Dallas was marching, those first 8 minutes in Game 4. What's flipped in those 5 periods?
I'm not sure. I think just things going our way, like confidence, and just playing hockey. I guess when you get down, and especially when you're down too early in a very important game, it's like there's nothing left to. You don't have to worry about making mistakes because it's just playing with urgency to get back in the game, and then you get that confidence and you just play hockey. And there's been a lot of shifts up and down through the series, and we're going to do our best to try and minimize the shifts, and things have been going well for us right now, and we're going to try our best to play like we did in the last 5 periods.
You're 6-3 on the road in these playoffs. What does it say about the team that you guys have played so well right from home, especially in the postseason, crowds are rowdy, all that?
I don't know. Sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of teams would say the same, it's often easier to play on the road just because you don't have to worry about line matchups and you just go out and play. It's easier for the players. The coach isn't jerking you around and putting you on the ice and pulling you back off because the coach wants to get a certain line matchup. Sometimes it's just easier being on the road where you just play. You just roll your lines, and it's a lot easier for the players and for the coach just not to have to worry about that part of the game.
When you took over this team was at rock bottom. And I know you talked about you talked to the guys and said it's 7 to 10. Like it's achievable to get out of that hole. But what did you see in them that they were still a confident group? They just feel it got off to a bad start. We can be like they expected to be here. I guess is my point. What did you see in that group when you first?
I saw a team that was very hard on themselves. A team that was very frustrated. Things hadn't been going their way, and a team that was trying probably too hard. And that sounds ironic that you could try too hard, but you just get so caught up and you're not thinking straight and you're just trying to do too much. And when you're trying to do too much or sort of trying to do everything, ultimately you're doing other people's jobs and then you're not doing your job as well, and everything's disconnected. And I think we settled things down when we were on that road trip in Carolina, between the Carolina game and Washington, where we talked about just we don't have to be great every night. We don't have to be great for the next 8 games. We just actually had to be good. And if we had won 5 of 3 at that time through the regular season, we would be putting ourselves in a good position to just get into playoffs. And I think the guys looked back at that and said, that's very attainable. We don't have to win a bunch of games and be perfect. And then they just started playing hockey, and I think that was a big part of our season.
Kris, you just talked about that Carolina and Washington road trip. I remember on that Thursday at practice in Washington, you stopped practice because Ryan McLeod was a touch offside when you guys were just doing casual drills, but you really wanted to hone in on the fine details and taking care of the fine details. How do you feel like your group responded to that throughout the course of the season?
I think this team has just continued to want to get better, wanted to win. And I think the goal before I got here was the expectation of pushing to win it all. And, I think the best players want to be coached and want to be corrected. And, my time here, that belief has never been changed. They want to get better, and they've been very open to any criticism, any corrections that I've provided. So for my job, it's been pretty easy having a bunch of players as coachable as they have been, and it's been it's been pretty much a dream job.
You mentioned that
playing easier on the road? Can you coach a road game at home?
We'll try our best. I think just the fact that I don't think either team's really caught up in line matchups very much. And, we've been comfortable with our fourth line playing against our first line and our third pair even against anybody. And, so I don't think it's necessary that we have those line matchups, and we'll just try and hit the guys playing as freely as possible with the attention to all those details.
Talk about the roller coaster the team's been on. What's the ride like been for you?
I've enjoyed it. Obviously there's some sleepless nights thinking about the next game and what needs to be done, and the excitement of post-victory and the worry about your next game. But I've had a great support staff that has helped me. I think the players have been very receptive, which makes my job a lot easier. And the support from my family has been great. So I've enjoyed it. It's been. I'm sure when I step back, when this is all done, it'll be a lot more easier to look back at. But it's been great so far.
How you are in the moment and you're dialed in is what can you appreciate, I guess, about the ride and the excitement that you're going to be walking into tomorrow?
I think very similar to my first game, going onto the bench in Edmonton and walking through that tunnel and hitting the, just before the ice and getting behind the bench, and just the excitement in the crowd, and that was a pretty special moment for me. I would think pretty much every playoff game in Edmonton has been very similar, where I've looked back and thought, well, this is incredible to be in this position. So I've been enjoying it, and hopefully I can enjoy it for a few more games.
You're one win away from the Stanley Cup final. The experience that this team has with that, does that give you confidence that they're not going to pass tomorrow?
I think we're confident in how we need to play and not getting too far ahead of ourselves. That being said, we are playing a very good team that's going to have a lot to say with how that game's being played, and they'll be making corrections. They'll be fired up that we're going to have to be prepared for. But for our team playing the way we need to play, I have a lot of confidence in our team doing that.